I'm training a lot, and yeah, it's all over the place. Came back from Mexico, so much shit to do. You understand?
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
I actually wanted to ask you, like, how's your summer been since your last fight?
My summer,
Hmm.
my summer. I mean, it's been busy. I've been training lots, and like just training pretty much. But yeah.
Hmm. And again, you just mentioned that you were coming back from Mexico. So were you training down there, and what prompted your decision to go down there?
Yeah, I was training with Team Grasso,
Hmm.
and yeah, I really like their boxing. So I've been talking with one of the coaches for a while, and I say, okay, I'm coming down. Like, I went down there, and I had a great training, great people. I meet a lot of good people, and yeah, I learned a lot. So I'm glad, I'm happy I won.
That's good. Well, before I go any further, I just wanted to say I appreciate you taking your time, and it's been a while since I've had you back on here, so I'm glad to have you back on.
Thank you very much.
So talking about the summer, I mean, before the summer really happened, I mean, you had that close, I think it was that short notice fight with Sarah Park, but obviously due to the visa issues, they couldn't sanction it, or what happened?
Yeah, so the visa couldn't get in time. Something like that happened. I think it was like 5 business days, and they offered the fight on a what was it? On a Saturday. So of course there is close, and then you're missing days, and I had to leave on Tuesday, something like that. So it didn't work out, which that's fine, not a big deal.
Yeah, and it sucks when that happens. I mean, it's a good opportunity, sometimes rare opportunity, but things kind of just happen for a reason. And did you feel like it wasn't too far away from your previous fight? So did you feel physically okay to cut the weight again, or how did that all happen?
Well, that fight would have be I believe 135. So I wouldn't have
Oh,
to
right,
cut
right, right.
anything.
Oh,
Yeah, so I was like, okay, that's great. I just pretty much need to show up and have fun, and that's it, right? I didn't have to worry about the weight or nothing. So that was one of the reasons why I say, okay, let's do it. Why not? But it didn't work out.
okay. Yeah, that's too bad. But and then obviously, summer passes, and you just came back from Mexico teaming with Team Grasso. So, what's been probably the biggest thing you got to learn from that part of your camp?
A lot of hands, we were working on a lot of hands. They have a great team there, and honestly, like everyone, it was really, really helpful.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's more details than anything, and like fixing me up a little bit, touching up and stuff.
I think like a lot of people don't understand how I think I think the MMA community really views Grasso as that underrated boxer. Like people don't realize how good her boxing really is until you see it firsthand.
Yeah, yeah, I got to get some runs with her, and honestly, I'm like, holy moly, like she's so good, right? Like her boxing is super clean, and yeah, that's what is one of the reasons why I went there. I wanted to train with her, and I did, and it was really good.
That's good. That's good. Now going back to your last fight, I know it. Obviously, I don't want to touch too much upon it because it sucks. But I think myself, I mean, I think the MMA community and myself can both agree that you won that last fight. I think there's no really any doubt that you had lost that. That's kind of the way the judges go. So how do you recover from a decision like that, knowing that everyone had your back on that?
Yeah, honestly, it doesn't bother me. Like the losses, is I mean, it sucks. Honestly, it really sucks. But I mean, when I watched the fight, I was like, maybe if I didn't won fully, maybe like a draw. Let's put it that way, right? And like that's my fault for putting the fight on the judges' hands, and that's what happens. And we're seeing a lot of bad a lot of bad decisions all the time, and that happens, and that happened to me. And yeah, so I have I have, I cannot complain. I did it myself.
Mm-hmm. Did any of the officials come to you after and kind of talk to you about the fight after? Or did they say like, hey, like, you kind of won, or did anything happen after that, or like, can you kind of?
Not much. Just like a lot of people telling me that I won that fight. I'm like, someone like sent me screenshots from Instagram, and they were like hating on her and like into the UFC, really like power bombing them. But I'm like, it's not Jessica's fault either, it's the judge's fault. But it's what it is, and it's fine. I'm just gonna, show up in October 9th, get the win, show what I'm about, and keep going from there.
Yeah, and now you have your fight with Sam Hughes again. I mean, you previously got to fight her in 2018. I know, it's easier to say that you already know what to expect from her, but that being 3 years later, and you both as fighters have grown so much since. Are you still expecting to see the same thing from her, or are you expecting to see evolution of a fighter from her? What like?
No, of course, I'm waiting for the best Sam that is, the better Sam ever out there. That's what I'm waiting for, and that's what I'm hoping for. She's in the UFC for a reason, and I respect her and all of that. And yeah, I'm so excited to step in the cage with her again. I mean, we have fought 2 times already. So the first fight, it was a draw, and the last fight, it was I got it. But the first fight, it was like in the beginning of both careers, and the last one, it was my last amateur fight, and it was, I think, one of her last amateur fight also, I think. So now it's pretty cool to see her again in the UFC, like in the beginning of our careers, which that's fine too.
Yeah, and not to like rub any more dirt on her career, but she's lost her last 2 fights in the UFC. Arguably, I mean, I think she made her debut against Tisha Torres. So, I mean, she's a very tough opponent. She's really come far as well. But do you kind of expect her to come out a little bit more aggressive, knowing that she kind of has to get that win now?
Yeah, as I say, I think she's gonna come, better than ever, and she's gonna come hard. That's what yeah, and I'm ready for anything, anything.
So are you gonna be picking her up and throwing her around the octagon like last time, or what's the deal?
Yeah, maybe outside the cage this time, so I can make it clear I won.
Yeah, of course, of course. But like, what skills do you possess that will guarantee you this victory this time around?
There is no guarantees in MMA, but I'm just gonna show up, do my job, have fun, and let it play in the cage. But all I know is coming out victorious for sure.
For sure, for sure. Now, just other news. This happened maybe a week or two ago. But obviously, Weili Zhang is going to be fighting again for the strawweight title. In your division. So that being said, like, I guess she moved to the U.S. and now she's going to be training with. I want to say TJ Dillashaw, but no, Henry Cejudo and Eddie Jaw over at Fight Ready. So, how do you see her evolution going into that rematch?
Oh, I mean, I'm sure she's gonna improve and gonna have new tools, or but I gotta go with Rose. I think Rose is gonna get it again.
Well, not to hate on Rose by any means, but like, if she is to beat Rose Namajuanas, what does she need to do in this fight?
Oh, it's hard. I don't know. I will say pick her apart from the outside. Yeah.
Yeah, she's definitely, the distance in the footwork is something that you have to break down with her. And it's interesting because I think her one fight with I'm trying to think of her name. I think she went up to 125 in her last 2 fights. I think she fought Valentina in the
Who
last.
did? Who did?
Um, I just can't think of, I can't think of her name. I have a picture of her. I just can't think of her name.
Oh,
Geez, the one from Brazil. I just can't think of her name. You know, short hair.
oh, okay, yes, yes. I'm horrible
Yeah,
with names, but I know who you're talking about.
yeah. And I know, like with her, she, you know, she's probably
Andre, Andre.
Andrade, yeah, Jessica Andrade. Like she's one of the shortest, but you know, female fighters in the organization, and she still was able to land hands and be able to get on top. You know, get a hold of her. So I think that's just one thing that people have to be able to do is close that distance quick, because once you do, I think Rose does have a problem with that.
Yeah, I got to spar with her when I was in Denver for my last fight. And yeah, like her best game, I'm gonna say, is staying the outside, as we were saying, and just picking you up with the kicks, and just keep moving. She's great at that. So I think she could get the win by doing that.
Yeah, and I would love to see her use more of her ground game, because she's very skilled with her jiu-jitsu,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
just, you never see her use it anymore. She's never had to.
yeah, 100%. Well, I guess we have to wait and see.
For sure, for sure. Well, again, I just wanted to say thank you for taking your time. I understand we had some things going on, and some hiccups, but I appreciate you taking your time, and good luck on with your next fight.
Thank you very much.